Hello friends, welcome back to Storytime here at MissionViewfinder. We have another mission story for you today. And this story, if you haven't guessed by the shirt that I'm wearing, this story is about Dr. Rabbit, who worked with the Karen people, and this is a Karen shirt if you didn't know that. So, today we have a story about Dr. Rabbit. Now Dr. Rabbit, you might remember, was someone who worked in the jungles, and he worked with the Karen people, as I just said. Anyway, he had this clinic. And they saw all sorts of people. They helped people that had abscesses, they helped people who had toothaches, they helped people who had broken bones, people who had malaria or ringworm or fever, all sorts of things. And so usually patients show up very early. Karen will often go to the clinic before they even eat breakfast. They just go early a lot of times. Anyway, so Dr. Rabbit one morning was at the clinic and he had helped everybody who was sick, and there was this one little old grandma sitting there. Now he went up to Grandma and he said to her, "Grandma, what is it that you need?" Well, she didn't respond. She just sat there she didn't know what to say. So Dr. Rabbit said, "Is it fever?" She said, No, it's not that." And he said, "Well, is it ringworm?" She said, "No, it's not that." And he asked if it was something else, and no, it wasn't that. And finally, her tongue was unloosed, and she said, "Dr. Rabbit, I'm starving, I'm starving. Yathawida, yathawida." Here's a phrase if you want to learn how to say it in Karen. Yathawida, yathawida. I'm starving, I'm starving. Dr. Rabbit was like, "What happened? Why are you starving?" And she said, "Well, my big son, he went to the city a while ago to earn money, and he got a job, but he never sends me any money for rice. He said he would, but he never sends me any money for rice, and I'm starving, I tell you." Well, Dr. Rabbit was puzzled, and he said, "Does he ever send you letters?" "Oh yes, he sends me letters," she said, "and he tells me he's earning plenty of money, but he doesn't send me any money." So Dr. Rabbit was puzzled. He said, "In those letters, does he send you anything else?" And Grandma said, "Yeah, he sends these crazy little bits of paper." And she was angry now. She was like, "It's these crazy little bits of paper with English written on them, but you can't buy rice with paper. You have to have money to buy rice." Well, now Dr. Rabbit was curious what those little bits of paper were with English written on them. So Dr. Rabbit told Grandma to go back home and get all her letters with all those crazy little bits of paper and bring them to him. So the next morning, Grandma shows up with a banana leaf wrapped around all those letters with those crazy little bits of paper with English written on them. And she gives them to Dr. Rabbit and says, "There, you look at it." So Dr. Rabbit opens them up, and sure enough, every single one of those crazy little bits of paper was a money order for 10 rupees. Now, I didn't do the conversion, but that was a decent amount of money for them. And plenty of money for her to buy rice. And Dr. Rabbit said, "Grandma, you just need to take these crazy little bits of paper to the postmaster. You put your thumbprint on each one, and he'll give you 10 rupees for every single one of these crazy little pieces of paper." And Grandma was dumbfounded. She didn't know what to say. She said, "I can? He will?" And hugging those letters to her heart, she said, "Here, to think I was starving for all this time, and I had a whole fortune in my hands, and I didn't even know it." And when Grandma left to go back home, Dr. Rabbit said, "I don't know who was happier, her or me." Friends, it makes me think of the people around us who are starving for spiritual food. They're starving for the gospel. They're so hungry. They don't even know what they're hungry for, maybe, but they're so hungry for the gospel. And if we can just show them where the spiritual feast is in God's word, it won't just be those people that are happy. It will make us so happy as well, as we see so much joy come into their lives because of the spiritual food that they receive. So I hope, friends, that this story is an encouragement to you that there is so much joy, not only for the people who receive the gospel, but for us also as we share the gospel with them. God bless. We'll see you next time.